Hi everyone, this is Music Otaku, the nerd whose life is all about music. And I am finally back and have uploaded another review. I know this is late and not really on the day that I said I would be uploading this, but life is life, and life happened and sort of delayed me from editing and uploading this video. But I am here. Today I am here and I will be reviewing the fourth album by the Canadian band Walk Off the Earth, which is titled Sing It All Away. So without further ado, let's do this. So I have to admit, this is my first time really listening to an album by the band. Otherwise than that, I don't believe I've really heard of this band. As a matter of fact, the way that I really originally discovered the band was when I watched the music video of one of the tracks off of this album, Hold On the Break. And I have done a review on this. If you would like to see the review on this track, I will make sure to supply the link to it somewhere on the screen. But if it's not on the screen, I definitely will have it in the description box below. But as I was saying, otherwise than that, and really until I saw the music video, I really haven't heard of this band. But after watching that music video and listening to that song, that really made me curious to see what this band is really about. I really liked the sound from Hold On the Break and wanted to hear more and find out more. And sure enough, they are just like any other YouTube sensation. They started out with a humble beginning. They started off by just doing cover songs of popular songs. And I actually enjoyed those too. I found out that they are a very creative bunch. I am brave enough to say that they are music nerds, because they're willing to experiment and do different things and just create their own niche and their own sound that is not really part of the typical mainstream music that you really hear on the radio. So I really appreciated that. And as I find out more about their background and their history, I really actually did want to listen to their album. And since I saw the music video Hold On the Break, which is from Sing It All the Way, I decided to start with that album. What I found interesting is that it had a few mixed reviews. Of course, some people liked it, but others have made comments about it. They have talked about how this album is either delightful or distracting, or a reviewer even has considered it really a big mess. And there are even fans that have even expressed on one of the music review sites that they didn't really ultimately enjoy the album. And for a few reasons. The album seemed to be all over the place. It seemed to be very commercialized and not really allow for Walk Off the Earth to really truly be them. But in my opinion, honestly, this album was a solid album. It was a very good album and a very good start for Walk Off the Earth. For all you know, they could have gone in a different direction whereby they tried to make sure that, they tried being sort of the next Black Eyed Peas and just have several rappers and have the female be the pretty lead singer and just sing. But no, this band has decided to really get their act together and really just be themselves and have fun and be creative with their music. And I'm glad that they were able to keep their originality as well as go ahead and experiment a little bit on this album. Why not go all out? Even if it's a flop, at least I know what works and what doesn't work. Because most of these tracks on this album are either very catchy or very memorable. For me, it depended upon the song and the subject matter. But I'm pretty sure it's like that for everybody. And they will obviously connect with certain tracks more than others. A few of the creative methods that I've noticed on this album and really appreciated was the fact that, they weren't too afraid to experiment and add different instruments in. If you haven't already learned, I can just let you know, all of the members of the band are multi-instrumentalists. They can all play drums, they can all play guitar, they can all play their own several instruments. They can all play several instruments, and they even experimented on their cover songs. One of the cover songs, they actually played and used a harpeggi, which I thought was interesting. I've never heard of a harpeggi, but it looked like fun, and it was something new. It added something special when they did that cover song. And on this album, they really made sure that everything was unique and special in their own way. And sure, it does sound like they have taken a few sounds from several artists, and they have been influenced by several artists. But what's most important is that they made sure to make this album their own and not be true copycats. Some of my favorite tracks on this album are Rule the World. I've done a review on this already as well, and I will provide the link to that in the description. But just to give you a little hint, it was what I called in the review a breakout anthem. Because that's what most of these tracks on this album are. What I appreciate is the use of the stutter effect on both the vocals and instruments, and how this song was actually the most aggressive song that I've really ever heard from them. The next favorite from this album is I'll Be Waiting. This is one whereby I enjoyed. They have positive and inspirational lyrics, but they also made sure to experiment, and they did on this track. They had layered vocals, they had, again, the rock and reggae sound, and inspirational lyrics, but I liked the effect that they applied, how they experimented with reverb and layering everything and panning the sounds back and forth. I just like that. And then my other favorite is Home We'll Go. It had a country sound to this track, I'm not gonna lie. And at first I was like, okay, this is interesting. Hearing a banjo. But I liked it. It was weird. It was like a mix of country and dance. But I still liked it. You had in the beginning the country sound with the banjo playing in the background, and then singing the inspirational lyrics. But after they sing the chorus for the first time, there's an interlude, and before the banjo solo along with the bass, they implement an EDM effect or method, which was a rise or a build up, whereby they sped up the drums, and then after a synth melody was modulated up to a certain point, the drop was a banjo and bass. And as weird as it might sound, if you listen to it, hopefully you'll understand far more than how I'm explaining it. Hold On the Break, again, is my favorite. I love this track, and I really didn't get a sense of how some reviewers considered it having a little bit of hip-hop, except maybe the part whereby Gianni is rapping on this track. And he did for a little bit during the vamp. But still, I like it. Again, it is another track that showed another side and is one of the few breakup songs that are on this album. Another heartbreak or breakup song on this album that I enjoyed is Heart is a Weapon. I liked it mostly not just because of the lyrics, but it has an 80s power pop sound to it. And I like that. It's kind of retro. It kind of makes me think that, you know, somebody or some music from the 80s really inspired this. Now, as I said, I agree with one fan who has said this about the album, which is whereby they felt Columbia Records has really kind of stifled their sound and their creativity. And the only reason I really agree is because of two tracks, and that's Alright and Boomerang. And Alright is a good track as well, but like Boomerang, the production side of it leaves me wanting more. And I wouldn't say disappointed, but a little bit let down. You know, it seemed a little bit too toned down compared to the rest of the tracks on this album, which have a very grand and big sounds, but tracks with depth to them. And these two tracks, they didn't really have too much depth, in my opinion. So my rating for this album is 8 out of 10. I loved the lyrics, they were filled with nothing but positive energy, if not really uplifting and inspirational anthems that you can either sing in the shower or sing to yourself to encourage yourself. And I believe they have fulfilled the purpose and have done a very good job with what they wanted to do with this album. Do I think that this album is perfect? No. But I enjoyed it because despite some of the faults and some of the imperfections, I still enjoyed the album. It really didn't fully deter me from enjoying everything and the experience that Walk Off the Earth wanted me to experience. So, what do you think about the album? Have you checked it out yet? If you haven't, please go check it out. I really do recommend it. And then come back and let me know in the description below, what do you think of the album? Don't also forget to like this video if you have enjoyed the review. So, comment, like, subscribe, and follow me on Facebook and Twitter. Have a blessed day, and this is the Music Otaku